Hey folks, I'm Serious JG. We're going to do a new Let's Play series today. Start one off. I don't know how long this is going to go. I really don't need to be starting a new series, but this one I think it appears it's going to be pretty short because it's a new game I bought that I'll just be honest with you. So far, and I'm going to give it another chance here. It's massively disappointing. And that game is AEW Fight Forever. I'm willing to let the experiences of the next couple of videos change my mind, but for my pre-play, before starting to record anything, this game kind of sucks. And I was really hoping it would be good. But let's see if the game can prove me wrong here, and I'll tell you why it seems to suck as we get it past there's a little intro movie that it's going to play for us. It's THQ. They made the SmackDown games back in the day. But that was back in the day. None of the people who made those SmackDown games may have actually been working with Ukes and THQ at this time. That's one of the reasons I was excited. This is a company that made some great wrestling games in the past. This game... Well, I should stop being so negative. Let's see.
There are moments when time stands still.
Like when you first play this game and realize it sucks.
When we are bound by the magnificence of one singular event.
Or singular
In
station.
2019, AEW rose. And a new vision
You know, I
for the
actually
future of
live
professional
close enough to
wrestling
Washington, D.C. I could have gone to the first Dynamite and I didn't.
AEW is for the
I watched from
bold.
home. I was excited, but
AEW is for the fearless.
AEW is for people with bloody mouths.
That deep inside, they are elite.
It's for elite
It's
hacksaws.
time for you to create your unforgettable moments.
Mm-hmm.
Where your legend is born.
Matt Bourne.
And your memories will live forever. Are you willing to risk
Your
everything
butt
to
will
accomplish
stick out,
your
and you'll jump off of a football arena
time
thing.
to become elite?
Yeah, Yuka Sakazaki, she's elite for
Are you
sure.
daring enough?
Exploding barbed wire death match. Yeah, it's AEW Fight Forever, and like I said, I was playing around with it for a couple hours yesterday, and I think it kind of sucks. But the main thing I haven't done yet at all, like the thing I haven't even touched yet, is the thing that's probably the most important for me to enjoy a wrestling game, which is the story mode. I haven't touched it yet. Everything else about the game I've dipped a toe into has been pretty subpar. What an incredible victory for Jungle Boy. Yep. So there's Jungle Boy. So I should probably. So if you're a big AEW fan watching this, I'll say the magic word which will allow you to discount everything that I have to say. Which is, yeah, I listen to Jim Cornette's his two podcasts. I tend to listen to them a lot while I'm out walking, getting my steps. Because I find them really entertaining to listen to. Doesn't mean you agree with everything he says. So if you're a huge AEW fan, like, yeah, you can switch off now. You don't have to listen to anymore if it's going to upset you. But I am somebody, like, I want AEW to be successful, and I want this video game to be good. I really think it's important that there's some competitor to WWE in the wrestling space, because WWE is, like, in bed with Saudi Arabia, who murders journalists. The guy who took over, who's ripped off shareholders in his publicly traded company for years, is essentially a sexual predator. I mean, there's a lot of reasons not to like WWE, even if I have a long history of enjoying their product. So I really want AEW to be successful. And as far as video games are concerned, oh yeah, I was excited about playing a video game. Because I haven't, other than you've seen me Let's Play WWE games from a couple years ago that had like a WrestleMania showcase mode, but I haven't bought any new games, and it's been several years. So I was really hoping this one would be good. But there's a couple of things that are drastically wrong with this game. Let's take a look at the roster. So there's about 60, there's less than 70 characters. That sounds like a lot until you actually compare it to any wrestling game of the last 15 years and realize it just isn't. So you got Jungle Boy and Chris Statlander and Kenny Omega. There's various people here that you'd want. Orange Cassidy, I personally can't stand Orange Cassidy, but people like him. Penta El Cerro Miedo, Pentagon Dark, Pentagon Jr. I actually used a created wrestler of Pentagon Jr. In the last WWE game I played, not on screen, because I had to I had downloaded it because they had a community. They had an incredibly deep creative wrestler thing you could do, and somebody had made a really good Penta, and they had a thing going there where you could actually save it and other people could use your character. So I had a really good Penta that I didn't have to make, somebody else made it. Yeah, this game doesn't do that. So you got Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs. So far so good. Ty Mello, okay, I don't know how often I see her wrestle. Scorpio Sky, he's just coming back to TV now. He's been gone for a while. Thunder Rose has been gone for a while. Well, okay, but wait, now here's the problem. All right, so I got my 2 custom characters. We'll get back to this later. Alright, so you got Yuka Sakazaki. I think she was on, I think I saw her, well, hold on. We got Abaddon, lady wrestler. She was on Dynamite twice? In 2019, I think? Yuka Sakazaki, much more appearances. She must have had 5, maybe even 6 appearances on Dynamite over the years. But not in this game. Jamie Hayter's not in this game. Is she the champion? I've lost track of who the champion is, the women's champion. I think Jamie Hayter lost it to, oh god, what's her name? From the lady wrestler from Gold Coast, Australia. She's really good, and I'm blanking on her name. But one of the reasons I can't remember her name, I can't look her up here. She's not in this game either. So yeah, they're not in the game. Abaddon, who was on Dynamite twice, she's in the game though. Got Adam Cole, we got Adam Page, Aubrey Edwards. I had to buy at the shop. Anna Jay, I think she's Dark Order in this game. So the Dark Order exists as a faction, but it's only got Anna Jay and I'll see him in a minute here. Oh, Bryan Danielson. I almost didn't notice he was in the game. And I got the DLC because I'm an idiot. I don't buy that many games, so I buy the DLC for the games, the season pass, as I'm buying the game, which is why FTR's in the game. They wouldn't be in the game otherwise. Cody Rhodes, you unlock at the shop. Darby Allin. So yeah, John Silver's in the game. He's the guy from the Dark Order. So it's really not that many characters. And there's a lot of people who are, missing. It just feels like there's a lot of people missing. Right now, Chris Jericho, for example, he's the leader of the Jericho Appreciation Society. What's his name is in here? His little sidekick guy. Sammy Guevara's in the game. No one else from the Jericho Appreciation Society is in the game. I guess except Anna Jay. Who is not in the Jericho Appreciation Society yet. And this game seems to be set around the time that Jericho was part of a faction called the Inner Circle. But none of its members other than Sammy Guevara in the game either. So it's a really thin roster of guys. Okay. And the creative wrestler mode sucks. And I'm not going to bother to show you it other than to show you Bobo the Vulture and then tell you... Well, you know what? I will show you. I'll show you real quick. Let's go in and modify Bobo the Vulture, who I made off screen. And it took me less than 2 hours to make him. And the vast majority of that time was creating his moveset. Because you don't have a lot of options at all about appearance. Oh yeah, and as we go through the menus, you'll eventually get some music that sounds a lot like the Acclaimed theme music. It's interesting that that music's in the game because the Acclaimed are not. I'm not trying to delete him. So here's Bobo the Vulture, who's from New York, USA. I don't remember having selected New York. It wouldn't let me, hometown. I thought I just got to change USA. Country region. Yeah, like I set USA, but somehow he's automatically New York. I don't know. But here, like, check it out, right? So I'm sorry to use a photorealistic image of you, Bobo. I know this means that now you could be assaulted on the street by people who now know what you look like, but I basically made a guy, because Bobo the Vulture's classic ring attire in his prior Let's Play was a singlet where he was able to use the various options to create a BTV logo. He was able to select those letters and arrange them and rotate them and size them and make the different colors. Yeah, you can't do that. You can wear these suits. Actually, half of these are blacked out because I can't use this with the pose I have selected. Okay. There's all sorts of things like where you can't tell why it's blacked out, but it's blacked out. But yeah, like he could wear, this would be what I would probably wear if I did create a character. He can wear a jacket and pants. No, I would wear this, although for some reason it won't let me show it. He can have the one-armed singlet. But that's only if you use a full body costume. You could also choose between different upper body things, like, well, your tights could be different pants. Yeah, like basically you get to choose. There's a bunch of flag pants, there's a bunch of camo pants, and then there's pants. You have like no ability to customize fucking anything. And the head, I mean, I could give him glasses. Where do I get to face? Maybe that's not, maybe that's in profile. I change his face. Yeah. So these are the faces you get to choose from. Later on, you get to choose skin tone. But basically, you get a couple of faces. 8 faces. You choose between, like, 15 haircuts. And facial hair, there's only one beard that's like any kind of beard. Like, this is the beard you can have. Can you go in and modify it once you've got it? Well, you can change the hair color. That's it. He can't have a beard that connects to... He can't have sideburns. Sideburns isn't a thing. I mean, this game doesn't have the technology necessary to give you sideburns. I suppose I could try to find a different haircut where he has sideburns. Because I chose something that's, like, you know, vaguely similar to Bobo's look in real life. But Bobo's got a beard. This game is like, well, you can kind of have a beard, but it's like this weird-ass beard where you meticulously shave your sideburns. But otherwise you want to have a beard. None of that bothers me as much as the fact that he's wearing a singlet. A plain black singlet. That's all I can do. My changes haven't been set. That's okay. I haven't made any changes. What else could I show you here? Because I think we're going to do a video and then launch into the main story mode. Oh, you also said on this menu thinking that it's waiting. It's a point where it wants you to hit a button to continue, but you've got no indication that's what's happening. You can make an arena. I did make an arena. That was kind of fun. But, you know, pretty limited. There's also, there's daily challenges and weekly challenges. It seems like a good idea at first. I was like, oh, like this encourages you to play the game. You don't have to do these, but if you, oh, okay, maybe I wasn't going to play as Matt Jackson. I certainly wasn't going to play as Matt Jackson. But now I have a reason to. It'll earn me AEW cash I can spend on the in-game shop. That's cool. Here's the problem. I played the game for a couple hours yesterday. I've bought almost everything that's in the shop. I didn't buy the arena stuff. I bought all of the moves and all of the apparel. I bought everything that would allow me, like, that I was hoping would represent stuff for a created character. So there's a few entrance yeah, these are things I can have as part of the entrance for my character. I can have druids hanging around. I haven't bought all of them, but I have bought most of them. And then Cody Rhodes is in the game. That's another indication that this thing was in development for like years. I should have known when it was in development that long. This thing like is literally like about 2 years. Release date's about 2 years after it was initially supposed to come out. I should have known that it was not going to be a great product. It apparently had a tortured cycle. But I bought, there's like 2 available new wrestlers. And then there's outfits. That's it. So maybe if you play the story mode, you unlock things that are not currently in the shop. Otherwise, it's like there's a shop. There's all these ways for you to earn money, in-game money. I've done everything that doesn't involve ranked matches online. But hey, it only took me a little while to do that. Once I realized, once I was like, oh, okay, I need to do rope rebound strikes. Okay, I can incorporate those into my matches. There's nothing to buy. It's just, it's a mess. It's a mess. But there's one thing that can maybe save this game. The thing that I was most excited about. Obviously, we can do different exhibition matches, including exploding barbed wire death match, which I haven't done. I'll do that. There are mini games. They are so dumb, but I'll probably show them off eventually. But there's a main thing that I was really hoping this would be good for this game. This was the thing that would make it fun to let's play. It was even possible it would be fun, a thing that you could incorporate with 2 people. Bobo floated the idea when he heard I was getting this game. It's like, oh, we might be able to play that cross PS, because I have a PS4. It's like, we might be able to play that, me on the PS5, you on the PS4. Let me know if it's any good. Well, I let him know. But for now, let's check out Road to the Elite, because this is, like I said, their creative wrestler mode is it's worse than like PS2 era games. It's comparable. It's a little bit ahead of what I expected from Create a Wrestler on PlayStation 1. This game is available on PlayStation 4 and 5. It is far behind what was available on the PS2 WWE games. The Created Wrestler. It's a very small roster. I haven't shown you the wrestling game. It's got its own problems. But this is where it really matters to me. Does it have a good story mode? Something where you don't have to keep coming up with your own exhibition matches. You can like let the game guide you through a story. That's what wrestling is. It's a series of stories. Does it have a good story mode? What is Road to the Elite? Let's find out together. Because this could make it all worthwhile. And I specifically saw, there's messages that when you create a wrestler, it says, your created wrestlers will not initially be strong enough to compete against established stars. Use Road to Elite mode to power up your wrestler. So we'll see what it's about. We're going to put Bobo the Vulture on the road to being elite. He's ready. Look at that guy. If he had a BTV logo, he'd basically be PS2 Bobo the Vulture. We're going to put it on... I don't know why it's starting on easy mode. Diet non-vegetarian? Fucking hell. Oh, because Kenny Omega was involved in making this game. Yeah, this is the kind of dumb shit they wasted time on. Sparse roster, terrible creative mode, but you can set your character to be a vegetarian. Personality: hero, monster, confident, jerk, quiet, enigma, hero. Bobo the Vulture's my hero. Live video subtitles on, play hints on. I mean, I think we could do normal difficulty. I don't know why it went to easy, but maybe I'll regret this in a moment. Maybe you're supposed to choose easy when you do a created wrestler because they're weak. Road to Elite. In this mode, you can train wrestlers to experience 1 year in AEW. 1 year? Okay, so their story mode is limited to 1 year. And I even remember one of the PS2 games had this had a story mode, but it was like, it was incredibly short, and I remember Bobo and I hating that because we would just play the story mode like over and over and over because it was so short, but it was still the most fun part of the game. The raised stats of a custom wrestler will carry over into other modes. Train your custom wrestlers to be the best they can be. So I guess we'll see. It's 1 year. We'll see how long that is. If it's a 52-week year and there's 52 events, that's not too bad. But the idea that you're really building up a career is not really going to be there. Like, unless we're supposed to win the AEW championship in our first year.
Before the glitz and glamour, before the bright lights and the big stage.
Are we supposed to know who these individual people are?
World championships and title
Well, that's
reigns.
Jericho.
We all went through it.
We all went through our vegetarian phase. Yeah, I would like Darby Allin a lot more if he would drop the skateboard bullshit. At least have that be part of your out-of-the-ring persona.
All the miles, laughs,
Sacrifices, broken bones,
scars,
hot aches.
Relationships.
Scars!
loyalties, resiliencies, inhumilities.
Vegetarian cuisine.
They have led us to this moment.
The power of now.
What if one opportunity
One opportunity could change your life.
I don't have a problem with vegetarians, but why the fuck would it be part of my wrestling
To take the next
game?
And become legendary. It's time to shatter limitations. It's time to reach for the stars.
But never leave your friends. Okay, this is all bog standard. I can see, you know, I'm not trying to constantly compare this to WWE, but that's exactly the kind of intro video a WWE game might do. Blocks here. Okay, so if it's 52 blocks, because it's a year, then okay, maybe this will be an extensive story mode that we'll really get into. Maybe this will be a longer LP than I thought. Inhale lower, exhale press. Whoever it is can wait until I finish this set. But it could be me calling about Bloodstained Ritual Tonight. Missed a call from Tony Khan and a voicemail, and it's not letting me control the pace of this.
Oh, this is Tony Khan. Hope you're well.
Oh
I'm reaching
God,
out on
you had to
behalf
put
of
yourself in the
all
game, didn't you?
We want to make you an offer. Talk to you soon.
I better find a quiet corner and call him back ASAP. Oh, but he was working out wearing his button-up shirt. I selected that as his casual attire, not realizing he would be using it at, you know, the gym. Hi. Tony God, it's Bobo the Vulture. Sorry I missed your call. Also, can you hear me? I'm holding the phone really far away from my mouth. This isn't how Bobo talks, by the way. I don't do an impression of Bobo, because he talks like a normal guy. I do an impression of Mountain Warrior Bobo. Oh, no problem. You're a busy guy. Doing all right? Why am I talking like this? Tony Khan... Tony Khan is not a good on-screen authoritarian speaker. He does not have the on-screen charisma that... The rival company is owned by a family where everyone seems to be pretty camera ready. I mean, other than Linda, obviously. Tony's not as good at that stuff. I am. I listened to your voicemail. Yeah, I'd love to be a part of Double or Nothing. Please, I want to make it clear to you how desperate I am. Before we negotiate anything, I need you to know that I'll do anything to join you. You don't have to pay me at all. I'm really bad at negotiating. That's great. So we have this Casino Battle Royal match, and we think you'd be a perfect participant. Okay, is it easy difficulty? No, you set it to normal. What? Oh no! Whatever you guys need, I'm happy for the opportunity. I'll work hard to show out. To show out? Oh, you don't seem to have the public speaking skills we require at AEW. Are you kidding? I know you'll make the most of it. Come to the press conference before and we'll introduce you. See you there. Oh, and please, at the media scrum, don't start calling out everyone else in the company while I'm sitting there. Like don't cuss people out and call them children at the press scrum. Thanks, bye! Depending on how long this Let's Play goes, I'm sure I'll end up talking about CM Punk versus The Elite. Huh, All Elite Wrestling.
This could be huge for me. If I go there and make a name for myself, I could end up in the World Wrestling Entertainment.
We had a goal. The goal was to put 10,000 people in a building, and by God, we did it.
Then we set that building on fire. We're monsters.
Three of us and a cast of our bandit friends.
Got 3 of us? Oh, okay, yeah, well, Cody Rhodes is no longer getting credit. He left.
All of the rules. We were eventually approached by the Khan family, and they had a question.
Would you take our money?
Really wanna
Oh,
change
Cody snuck into that shot there.
We said, yep. They said, we can help.
I'm Chris Jericho, and I am all in with All Elite Wrestling. Today has been my favorite.
So I guess if this is a history of the company, I guess it makes sense to do this, but it feels a little masturbatory here. I've already bought the game.
All Elite, a promotion.
Doesn't really feel like it's about my character either. It feels like it's
We don't care about
whatever.
race or gender or sex or religion. If you're an elite athlete, we want you.
To their credit or to their non-credit, I guess, depending on your viewpoint. Yeah, AEW does make a big deal about being inclusive. Like, they've got a gender-fluid wrestler who is relegated to their YouTube show because they have, like, no following outside of people who really want to root for them because they're gender-fluid. So, like, I'm surprised they put a vegetarian dining option in their story mode settings. Not just there's a moment in story mode where you get to choose between some food and one of them's vegetarian. But like the idea that if it was ever going to happen in a game, yeah, AEW is probably the most like the most woke wrestling company ever. So I guess I should be happy that they asked me if I was a meat eater or vegetarian. I suppose I should be glad there weren't like 50 different options there, and then a whole other set of things I could choose for my my orientation. Thankfully, orientation doesn't seem like it's going to be important. So anyway, this is the press conference. I've spent a lot of time talking. I'm sure I've driven away any hardcore AEW fans who didn't already know who I am and how my channel goes. But for anyone who's still here, when we come back next time, and I gotta put in the title of this video, don't actually get to a match or something. But when we come back next time, we will be in the story mode proper. Bobo the Vulture, he's here with Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I can only assume that Bobo the Vulture and Britt Baker are going to have exploding barbed wire death match next time. See you then.